Welcome back to Crypto Meets AI. Jerry here with an update for you. Do me a favor, friends. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and comment down below. Now let's get into this. At the end of the day, this technology, in my opinion, will be the fastest moving and most consequential technology we will see in many decades. Yes, she's clearly referring to XRP. Adena Friedman, Nasdaq CEO. She will be at Ripple Swell next week. Let's hear what she has to say.
So as we are seeing some changes in monetary policy, you're seeing the small caps starting to lift up as well. But the rest of the market, in particular the large caps, have had an incredible environment around them. There is an incredible technology that is coming. It's on the scene. It's extremely early, but it's already having effect. I think that people, as a general thesis, tend to be very excited and enthusiastic early. And at the end of the day, this technology, in my opinion, will be the fastest moving and most consequential technology that we'll see in many decades. It's an incredible technology that will come, and I do think it will achieve a lot of incredible productivity gains over time. It takes time, though. Yeah. It's very early, and people get very excited, but the fact is that as we build out the infrastructure, the models are improving every single month, every single quarter. The way that the models are being able to be brought together now through agents and digital workers to be able to string together capabilities will drive productivity. And investors are understanding that. So investors are there to predict the future, and they definitely predict a bright future. But I would also point out that since the beginning of 2024 until today, while the Nasdaq 100 is up 47%, the earnings of the companies in the Nasdaq 100 are up 32%. So there is a lot of justification for the fact that the markets are performing the way they're performing. And then you've got the promise of more. And then you also have an easing monetary environment, which also tends to be supportive of markets. And then you have a deregulatory environment, which tends to be supportive of growth. So there's a lot to synthesize, but I would say investors are synthesizing it and demonstrating it in what they're showing in the markets right now.
Acceptance of cryptocurrency and blockchain technology is finally here. We are seeing mass adoption happening with these institutions. The amount of wealth that's going to be created from this technology is going to make the internet days look like nothing. It's going to be small in comparison. What does secure institutional custody look like in a tokenized world? Next week at Swell 2025, leaders from top banks and asset managers, including Citi, Fidelity, and FTI US, will discuss the road ahead. You have Sandy Call of Franklin Templeton, Ryan Rugg of Citigroup, Cynthia Bessette, Fidelity, and Reese Merrick, Ripple. Ripple Swell, November 4th and 5th in New York City. Ripple is the blueprint for replacing the Fed and legacy central banks. XRP holders will participate in the new banking ecosystem. Get on board or stay trapped under the corrupt system that wants to control you forever.
We now have this internet of value. We're moving into a world where value, money, payments is moving like information already does on the internet. And that's a big deal because until now, the world is sort of a lot of siloed payment networks, country by country, or Visa to M-Pesa. They don't talk to each other. And because they don't talk to each other, everybody suffers from the poorest working class, underbanked consumer, to the thriving small business, to the biggest global corporation. They're all paying a very steep price because our world of money and payments is not interoperating, is not working as one. And we now have new technologies, whether you call them blockchain or distributed ledgers or whatever we call them. Bottom line is, this is the beginning of an internet of value, where value will be able to move like information, where it will move instantly, basically for free, as a free infrastructure. And that's a good thing. That now provides access to people, whether they're in, growing economies in Africa or in the rich countries in Europe and the US or in China. It will give them more value that they can use for their families because they will get better access to the global economy. They're simply going to be taxed less from the friction that we've had in the past. And then kind of looking forward, I think you really see this, almost futuristic world where, here at Davos, they're talking about Internet of Things. Well, now layer on this Internet of Things, these billions of cars, devices being connected. Now suddenly they're also commerce connected. So things are buying, selling, keeping money. You can imagine the self-driving car that's paying an ambitious coder in Kenya to upgrade its self-driving, systems. It's paying some embedded device in the road here in Davos to use the road, and it's collecting money from consumers or maybe even other things that might want to hitch a ride in that self-driving car. So suddenly now you could argue that billions and billions of new economic participants have arrived on Earth.
They're going to connect the entire world. They're going to bank the unbanked. And these cryptocurrencies, these blockchain technologies have been at it for a decade now. XLM, XRP, well over a decade. HBAR, XDC, 5 years or longer. They've been putting the plumbing and the rails in place for a very, very long time. Now we're starting to see the fruits of their labor. And this right here is more proof that it's going to be global. Nigerians can now access real-world assets directly on blockchain.com, powered by Ondo Finance, of course. And do not forget this, for the IMF to adopt an asset, sovereign nations must adopt it first. Once Ripple lowers its XRP holdings below the Clarity Act threshold, which is 20%, so it's not considered a security, it opens the door for global use without risk. That's how XRP becomes a global reserve asset, where its price isn't discovered, it's set. And it's coming for you people in the European Union. The European Central Bank announces that the digital euro could make a formal rollout in 2029. It's coming whether you guys like it or not. I just hope you guys have access to stablecoins like RLUSD and maybe EuroC or even USDC or PayPal's PiUSD. As long as they don't block you guys access to those stablecoins, you'll be just fine. But if they do try to put some laws or some regulations in place where you can only use a CBDC, you guys are going to be in trouble.
Hello. I have good news for you on the digital euro front. Today, the Governing Council has decided to move ahead on the next and final phase of the preparatory work for the digital euro. The other good news is that on October 23rd, the European Council has asked us and all those involved to accelerate the process so that we can roll out the digital euro as early as possible. This is important because as much as banknotes will continue to circulate, we want cash to be in the form of digital euro as well, so that you can circulate banknotes and click cash with the digital euro. More work is going to be done in the next few months, and if we receive the approval by the European Parliament in the course of 26, we'll be able to pilot the digital euro as of 27. And if the pilot is conclusive and positive, it will be a formal rollout in the whole of Europe in 2029. This is a big project because the euro is our currency, your currency. It brings us together. It's a symbol of trust in our common destiny. So off we go with the digital euro in that next and final phase of the preparation.
It sure does paint a pretty picture of it, though, don't she? And last up, Bitcoin is a speculative store of value. When physical gold is tokenized on efficient networks such as XRPL, Bitcoin will become irrelevant, just as Kodak and Blockbuster have been. The new financial era is about efficiency, speed, and cost. Bitcoin is left behind. And David Schwartz responds with this, right? The use case is a speculative store of value and means of exchange. Those are the properties that make Bitcoin interesting for that use case. Key words, speculative store of value, means that it will not be a store of value because physical gold will be tokenized and move on efficient networks such as XRPL. Well, that's what I have for you folks. Until next time, stay savvy, stay stacking, and I'll catch you in the next one. If you enjoyed this, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and comment down below. And if you want more crypto deep dives, check out our videos right here on Crypto Meets AI. Thank you for watching. Remember to always do your research. This is not financial advice.